The Philippine Coast Guard will provide perimeter security to military troops participating in this year's Balikatan exercises within Philippine and international waters in case unauthorized vessels approach the area. In a press conference, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Rear Admiral Armand Balilo says the PCG will act on a limited capacity during the multilateral maritime exercise.
Hindi kami lahat magpa-participate dun sa maritime exercise, but pinaplansya pa kung ano yung mga particular areas na kung saan kami papasok.
Balilo points out that the PCG will mainly provide perimeter security for the exercises in case unauthorized vessels attempt to approach the participating parties.
But mainly, the Philippine Coast Guard will provide security, perimeter security for the exercise para kung may mga lalapit at mayroong mga magtatangkang unauthorized vessels na lumapit, will be the one who will be acting as security.
The PCG official adds that they are also part of the search and rescue exercise set to be conducted in northern Luzon. Balilo previously said that this would be the first time that PCG will participate in joint interoperability exercises with the Philippine Navy and their counterparts from the US, Australia, and France from April 22 to May 10. The PCG will deploy 6 vessels in the exercises, including 4 multi-role response vessels and 2 larger patrol vessels. The exercises will be conducted in northern Luzon and Palawan with approximately 16,000 military personnel, including contingents from the Australian Defence Force and the French Navy. Several progressive groups are insisting that the Balikatan military exercises between the Philippines and the United States only put the Asian country in harm's way, as it could trigger higher tensions over the West Philippine Sea. In separate statements, Karapatan, Bagong Alyansang Makabayan, Gabriela Party List, and Bayan Muna Party List condemned President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration for allowing the exercises. The groups say that the war drill only placed the Philippines in China's crosshairs. Balikatan is joined by around 16,000 members of the armed forces of the Philippines and the U.S. military. The exercises began on April 22 and will last until May 10. Gabriela Representative Arlene Brosas says Balikatan does not only jeopardize regional stability, but it also marks a distressing capitulation of Philippine sovereignty to former colonizers. Former lawmaker and Bayan Muna Vice President Carlos Zarate says Balikatan puts the Philippines in a precarious position considering the tension in the West Philippine Sea. Meanwhile, the group Karapatan warns that the presence of U.S. soldiers and armaments alone could make the Philippines a potential target of a Chinese military attack. Karapatan also condemns the president for allowing the U.S. to exploit the country's water dispute issue with China. Meanwhile, the group Bayan believes that the military exercises are costly and disrupt many industries, especially in the areas where they are held. The latest wave of military exercises comes as tensions are high in the West Philippine Sea due to China's recent aggressive actions and complaints from the Philippine Coast Guard vessels about their Chinese counterparts resorting to water cannon attacks. Senator Risa Hontiveros says the Philippine National Police could now confiscate the firearms of Pastor Apollo Kiboy based on the cases lodged against him. Quiboloy faces 2 arrest orders from the Davao and Pasig courts for sexual abuse and human trafficking charges. A separate warrant of arrest was also issued by the Senate Committee on Women, headed by Senator Hontiveros, after it investigated other human rights violations hurled at Quiboloy and his Kingdom of Jesus Christ. In a statement, Senator Hontiveros says the PNP should stop making excuses and should do everything they can to capture Quiboloy if they are true allies in making Quiboloy accountable for his actions. She adds that the PNP should retrieve Quiboloy's weapons, stressing that all the cases filed against Quiboloy are enough reasons for his firearms to be confiscated. Hontiveros points out that the implementing rules and regulations of the PNP states that the legal disability or the loss by the licensee of the legal qualification or capacity to own and possess firearms includes dependency of a criminal case with imposable penalty of more than 2 years. The PNP previously confirmed that Quiboloy owns 19 assorted firearms. However, PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo said that Quiboloy's ownership of such weapons had nothing to do with the cases filed against him. Two senators questioned proposals to put up an exclusive motorcycle lane along Edsa, pointing out that fact-based study and accurate data are needed to solve perennial traffic in Metro Manila and not mere experiments. In a statement, Senator Grace Poe says the Department of Transportation's proposal is understandable, but she questions how the agency would create a dedicated lane in Edsa considering the limited road space in the area. Senator Poe says that concerns regarding the execution of the proposal must be addressed with actual data and not mere experiments that could cause further confusion on the roads. According to Poe, this kind of proposal highlights the need for the creation of an independent fact-based agency similar to the National Transportation Safety Board, which would be tasked to come up with data and institute standards for the designation of motorcycle lanes. On the other hand, Senator Nancy Binay says that putting up a motorcycle dedicated lane to address traffic woes is a mere band-aid solution to the perennial traffic problem. Senator Binay advises the DOTR to focus its efforts on building safe, comfortable, and robust mass transportation and stresses the need to prioritize investments in efficient public transit systems such as buses and trains. Senator Binay also questions why the Philippines is focusing on a single-passenger alternative when the government has yet to fully maximize the potential of metro rail transit and bus lanes. Several vehicles were destroyed by a fire that broke out at the parking lot of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 on Monday afternoon, according to the Bureau of Fire Protection. No injuries were reported while flight operations were not affected. In a phone interview, BFP National Capital Region Pasay City says that the fire was reported at around 1:35 p.m. and was extinguished at around 2:03 p.m. In an advisory, the Manila International Airport Authority says that the initial unofficial report shows that 19 vehicles caught fire, which allegedly started from a grass fire. MIA also says that they are currently conducting a joint investigation with the BFP regarding the incident. MIA adds that their rescue and firefighting division is still conducting mopping operations and determining the real cause of the incident.